Hey everybody, it's Chris here, Walking Man Walks, with another video from my front porch here in lovely Ilocos Norte, Dingras in the Philippines. And today the subject I'm going to talk about is my expenses here in the Philippines. I know a lot of vloggers have done expense videos and they vary, but I just thought some of my audience might be interested. I had some comments about it. So let's get started. It's festival season, so there's going to be music in the background. It's pretty windy today. I got some notes here and my coffee. Again, it's Friday morning. A couple days before Christmas, actually. They love Christmas here in the Philippines, so they start celebrating now, and then festival season starts, and I don't even know how long. There's several festivals in a row. It goes on for a while. Last year my apartment was like, they have, with the festival comes like a carnival, you know, like when I was a kid in New York it was Oktoberfest. It would go on for a couple weeks and they'd have rides and food and, you know, funnel cake and Zeppelis, we call them in New York, which is the same thing as funnel cake. But yeah, anyway, that's going on now, so it could get a little loud. And it's quite windy today and cloudy, and there's like an 80% chance of rain, which means it might rain a little. It's pretty dry up here in the north. It doesn't rain that much, so the rain is definitely welcome, except for in the summer when a typhoon hits, which I did experience this summer. Maybe I'll make a video about that in the future. So anyway, I have some notes here. So let's get started. My expenses, my number one expense for the month is rent for my 3-bedroom house here. I spoke about the air conditioning issue the other day, so it doesn't have air conditioning, but it would still be the same if I install an air conditioner, or if I talk the landlord into installing an air conditioner, which I would prefer. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But anyway, 8,000 a month, 8,000 pesos, which is about $150 for the 3-bedroom. There's no first, no last deposits or anything like that here. Like my last place had a deposit just of the amount of rent, and that place was an apartment with air conditioning. That was 6,500 pesos a month. So this, you know, there's no barrier to entry like in the US. If you want to move into a $2,000 apartment, you got to come up with $6,000, and the chance of getting your deposit back in the US is like, I mean, I don't know how many landlords over the years that I argued with, they'd say they have to take half the deposit to clean up the place after I leave, blah 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 blah. You know, they just always find a way to scam you out of your deposit. It's just the way it is in the US. They consider that part of doing business, and I guess as a renter there, you have to consider that part of doing business. That's part of the reason why in the US I bought an RV, and I live in an RV now, because when I had my dog, who passed away a few years ago, he was about 100-pound Akita mix in every apartment I tried to move into. You know, it was just a big ordeal and extra deposits, and even though he's a well-behaved dog, they just assume the worst, and that's the way it is. So 8,000 for the rent, and then electric, where they call it current here, is for me here now it's about 1,000 to 1,500 pesos. In my apartment with the air conditioning, it was about 2,500 pesos a month. This past month I was in Boracay for 2 weeks, so it was 500 pesos, which is $10. So it's normally 1,000 to 1,500 pesos, which is $20 or $30 a month. Not that big of a deal, but one of the bigger expenses for the locals here is the current, or electricity. It's expensive here for them. I think it's more in the US, but for them it's expensive here. Okay, so after that we have Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is my neighbor yelling at her kids. Wi-Fi is 1,200 pesos a month, $24. That's unlimited. I'm not gonna lie, my Wi-Fi here, my smart Wi-Fi, I'm probably gonna switch at some point. I get about 15 megabytes of download speed is about average, which isn't great. That's a wireless Wi-Fi router I have. If I went to the fiber optics, which is a different company, Globe, my friend has it, and next door to my old apartment, and she gets about 50 megabytes per second, which is a lot better. Of course, back home with my Starlink, I'm getting about 180 megabytes per second, which of course is much better. So I'd like to upgrade the Wi-Fi, and I probably will at some point. Right now it's taking me forever to upload videos. It's super slow for that. For everything else, just normal internet stuff, it's fine, and phone stuff. And then my water is free. It comes from a well. My last place, the water was, I don't know the price per gallon, but there was a minimum of 400 per month, and I never really went over that. So they had a minimum usage of 400 pesos per month, which was like, I think, 60 gallons or something like that. But I rarely went over 400 pesos a month. I could use all the water I wanted, showers, whatever, I actually shower here more in the Philippines than I do back home, because sometimes it's so hot I just go in the shower to cool off. Where in Colorado it's never so hot that I just jump in the shower to cool off. There I actually shower less, because sometimes if it's super cold out, I'll be less likely to take a shower that day. I'll wait till the next day in the afternoon when it's warm or something like that. And then, so that's water's free. Next is the phone. Phone is actually super cheap here. Everything's prepaid. There's no plans that lock you in, so you buy your phone. I bring my own unlocked phone that I usually buy on eBay in the US. I tend to bring two phones, but I only run one with a local SIM card, and I run the other one with my US SIM card in it. So I keep my US plan. So you could say that's kind of an expense, but while I'm here, I have a dwindled down Mint SIM plan, which is also prepaid. I learned several years ago that the prepaid plans are definitely the way to go in the US. You save a lot of money like that, and, it's just, if you look into it, it's better. I could get into that more in another video sometime, but anyway, 500 pesos, 10 bucks a month for unlimited data, and I think it's unlimited calling and text. But to be honest, I don't call anybody hardly. Like I was looking for a new place recently, so I call a friend of mine. His dad's a real estate agent, stuff like that. But I hardly, unless it's a professional phone call, I hardly make any phone calls. I just text and data. And everybody here seems to, that some countries I've traveled to, everybody talks on WhatsApp. Here everybody talks on Facebook Messenger. So that's how you talk to most people. Even buying stuff here, it's all done on Facebook Marketplace. Businesses run through Facebook Marketplace. It just seems to be the way they do it here. And food is my biggest expense, I would say for me and my girlfriend. So I don't really budget food, but it's about 5,000 to 7,000 pesos, $100 to $150 a month. My girlfriend cooks all the time, so food here is actually almost as much as in the US. If we go to the market and get a fresh chicken, it's $4 a kilo, 200 pesos a kilo. Liver, which, organ meats are very popular here, is like $2.50 a kilo. Pork, $2.50 a kilo. And vegetables, some of the vegetables from the West are quite expensive here. But compared to the West, they're about the same. But the local vegetables, like I have papaya, calamansi, which is like a little lemon orange mix, little tiny things that they put on all the food here. Papaya, calamansi, and various herbs and stuff right here in the yard, so that's free. Mangoes are, they're not that much. Watermelon and pineapple and stuff like that is super cheap. Like you get 5 pineapples here for $1 when they're in season sometimes. So fruit is cheap because fruit grows everywhere around here. But like lettuce, you're paying about the same price as the U.S. And then we go out to eat sometimes. We like a restaurant in the mall. This chicken place we go to, it's real popular here. Or there's another place called, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a pizza place in the mall as well that my girlfriend likes. But to me, the pizza here is terrible, but it's like bread, But it's okay. I mean, we go there sometimes just because she likes it. And the two of us could eat there for, it's pretty negligible. In Asal, the chicken place, we go there, I think it's 300 pesos each, $6 for a meal. And the same with the pizza place. It's a little more than that maybe. But even that, we only go like once every couple weeks, just because I'm pretty restrictive with my diet. I like to eat fresh, organic food. I don't like to eat highly processed foods. And then about once every 2 weeks I go to Robinson's, the mall, to get stuff that I kind of miss. Like you get food there, it's like a regular supermarket. So a lot of different U.S. food. Like I brought bagels back from the U.S. for Charisma to try a few months ago. And she ran out of cream cheese, so we got cream cheese. You get cream cheese there. It's not really good cream cheese, but it's cream cheese. And coffee there, and like trail mix, and spaghetti and spaghetti sauce, which we rarely eat, but she really likes that. Filipino spaghetti sauce is like super sweet. They add tons of sugar to it, so to me it's not even like spaghetti, but the Filipino people seem to love it. And pasta, everybody likes pasta. So yeah, and at Robinson's we get mouthwash, toothpaste, some cleaning products. So I go there once every 2 weeks. Actually, I went there yesterday, and I spent 1,400 pesos, which is about $30. And they take my international credit card, which is nice. A lot of places here you can't use debit card. Actually, a lot of places here you can't use a debit card. It's a cash society. So then transportation is my motorcycle, and I went ahead and threw in. I just had it registered and insured a couple weeks ago. I went in and threw that in. This is for the year, just so you could see that how much cheaper it is. My insurance for the year is 400 pesos. I haven't looked into it. I have no idea what that covers. I'm sure it's just liability. But 400 pesos, $8. The inspection costs 800 pesos, $600. 800 pesos, $16. I was kind of happy that they do an inspection here, because a lot of the vehicles I see on the road, they're questionable whether they should be on the road or not. And then the registration itself was 385 pesos, about $8 for the year. So for the year, it's about 1585. That adds up to 1,600 pesos, $30 to register your motorcycle and insure it. I pay that a month on insurance for one of my cars in the U.S., and that's just liability. And then gas, I estimate I spend about 600 pesos a month, and that's even probably high. That's like $12. So every time I go fill it up, it costs $4, and I fill it up probably every 2 weeks. Depends how much I drive. I don't drive that much. You have to be careful here on the roads. You have to have your head on a swivel driving a motorcycle. In fact, a couple weeks ago I almost got killed. It was my fault. I was changing lanes and I didn't look, and I had my music on, and since then I've been riding without listening to my music at the same time, because I don't want to die on a motorcycle in the Philippines. There's a lot of accidents here on them, and people die every day on them, especially like in Manila. And then probably one of the biggest expenses is my visa. You have to renew your visa every month here. You could stay for 3 years, renewing every month, and then you have to leave the country. So, because I leave every year for 6 to 8 months to go back to work, that's not an issue for me. But the visa is about $40 a month, and then once you're here a while, they give you a 2-month visa. where it goes down about $60 every 2 months. So yeah, that all comes out to about $400 a month. So I didn't have everything in there, but this really inexpensive cost of living allows me to do a lot of things that I couldn't do living in the US. Like for instance, we went to the beach for 2 weeks last month, and yeah, I spent $1,000 on plane tickets and lodging down there, which wasn't that expensive, like right on the beach, like 40 bucks a night or 30 bucks a night. Stayed at 2 different places. The $40 a night place was bigger and nicer. The $30 a night place was more convenient, had more restaurants around it. It was still nice, but a little smaller. Yeah, so the stories are true. You can live very inexpensively in the Philippines, and I'm not even really trying here. So, okay, that's my video for today. Good chatting with you guys again. See you next time.